Welcome along to EXFL Tier 2 Season 11. We're here for round 16 out of 20, the final quarter, and it begins here tonight in Las Vegas. We've got 15 drivers at the moment, still awaiting definitely one more of Adam. Don't know about Grush. But yeah, 18 minutes ahead of us then for qualifying as the drivers roll out for their first runs. And speaking of 5 races to go, as much as we do still have mainly 5 people in a shout of the Drivers' Championship. Over the last week, things have taken a slight turn in terms of development changes. So, if I just bring up the standings real quick, I can explain. As for constructors-wise, it still seems like Williams will be winning that, as they are now 69 points clear of Mercedes. There's still 172 points left after this race, so they can't win it. They'll probably win it in a couple races' time. But as for the drivers, we have Adam versus Samurai versus Eggy versus Kobe versus Navek. All of them covered by 47 points. Adam leads the championship. He'll join in quali soon by 5 points ahead of Samurai, who's 3 points ahead of Eggy, who's 21 points ahead of Kobe, who's 18 points ahead of Evan. Now, of those 5, Samurai is the only one to have entered every race this season, but as you can see, he's not here, and he won't be here for today and the next 2 races, so that's really going to affect Samurai's chances of winning this World Championship, as he's only going to have 2 races to go. So that might unfortunately have to say goodbye to his title hopes, being in second in the championship. And as for third place Eggy, we might also have to say goodbye to his championship hopes, because he's going to be missing, well, he's definitely missing today. Since Netherlands 4 weeks ago, he's unfortunately just developed these Wi-Fi issues that makes it kind of impossible for him to race, as well as others racing him. And that's going to affect him as Ocean Blade serves his qualifying ban. He will start at the back of the grid. So yeah, that's already second and third in the championship who have errors, which is really going to help Adam pull away, because he technically, if we just take away Samurai and Eggy, Adam has a 29-point lead ahead of this man, Kobe, who practically does need to win today if he wants to keep the title fight alive. Adam and Kobe, good friends of one another. And now it seems like those two are sharing the stage for this World Championship. It's a bit of a bizarre one, as he hugs the wall on the right. As for the 5th member of Navek, or Evan, he's ill today, so he's not racing, unfortunately. And also, due to his DNF last week, after a brilliant race in Baku of winning, but it just didn't go his way last week. He's not racing this week. He's falling ever further behind, and it does seem like he will fall out of this fight with 4 races to go after this. But it's down to Kobe and Adam then. And mainly it's down to Kobe if he wants to close up this championship, because Adam has looked to be consistent enough. But we'll see what happens, as we have 14 minutes left of qualifying. So, Kobe into the 1 minute 30s then with a 30.996. That's actually a brilliant banker time for the Williams, who's certainly been getting up to practice, getting up to speed, and wants to bounce back after he himself missed a couple races. So he's nearly 4 tenths ahead of last week's newest EXFL Tier 2 race winner of Finn, and Birdie Saints in the other Alpine, who could have got his debut win last week, got a 3-second time penalty in the closing stages, finished P4, just missed out on a podium to Kobe. We'll see what Birdie can do though. He's growing ever more as a driver throughout this season. And as we close to the final few races, I'm sure he'll get another chance at fighting for a victory. But yeah, it's names like Birdie and Finn and others that are going to get in between the championship contenders. And they could be as deciding as they are with their performances. We've got Yannick in P4 in the RB once again. 7 thousandths ahead of Dello in the Ferrari, who's a couple hundredths ahead of Josh in the Sauber. We've got Matt, who's 2 seconds down. Teammate of Will, both Mercedes drivers reserving, as Eggy's not racing, and Chubster, like I said, will be leaving the league probably after this week. not being able to do it anymore, unfortunately. We've got Bluey reserving in the McLaren this time, picking the Chrome livery as well. We've got Noah in the Red Bull, 4.5 seconds off at the moment. Still have Charlie, who's back in the pit lane now. Warren, who has got that's the 2016 Haas livery. Yeah, it is. He said he picked the wrong allocation, hence to why we're not seeing him on the hard compound tyres. Warren, who I believe it was 1 year ago now, give or take, got his first ever podium in EXFL Tier 2, his 50th race. He got it right here in Vegas as he crosses the line. He's P7 at the moment. It's 1 year later. He's approaching 80 races. And, he has been given a warning over this last week to just watch himself with his racecraft and whatnot, because he's always involved in collisions and whatnot, sitting on, I think, 9 instant points. So he has to be careful. But he still stayed true to his morals. He said he's not going to change how he drives. He's just going to be a bit more careful on other things when wheel to wheel. But we'll see how that goes. We've got Yondo in P12. Hopefully he doesn't have any brake issues this time, unlike a fortnight ago in Baku. We've got Nathan in the RB once again, this being his 102nd race. I think Nathan now becomes the most experienced Tier 2 driver on the grid after Frosty Life's retirement last week. So Nathan, the only Centurion I think we have, as we have Frosty, Seb, Josh, Chaz, and then Nathan. And that's Warren out. Oh my gosh. He's hit the wall in qualifying really early on. I also sent a message before we readied up saying please be careful of that wall before the strip begins that Yannick's heading into now, and Warren has clipped it. And he's out of the session. Oh, that's big disappointment for the Haas. He's typing in the chat now, and he is not going to be happy. Yeah, some choice words. Anyway, Kobe still leads the pace at the moment. That is a really good banker time. Oh, that is the wall, though, for the Williams. He might have just gotten away with that. I'm trying to think. For Tier 1, yeah, that would be a good banker for Tier 1. I'm trying to think if even I would do that as a banker. Probably. I know mid-30s to low 30s would be pole. Unless you got a big slipstream, then maybe a 29. But a 29 would be a really, really good lap. So yeah, we'll see if Kobe has anything left in the tank. Usually, Kobe's first runs are good enough, and then he's always finding maybe a 10th here, 10th there for the second and third. But we'll see who else can challenge. Bit of a different race, this one. Obviously, yeah, some familiar names not in there yet. We still are waiting for Adam to join the championship leader. Because if Adam doesn't score today and Kobe wins, there's 4 points between them with 4 races to go. Anyway, Kobe begins his lap then around the Las Vegas Strip. Starting his lap, diving into turn 1, 100 meter board on the right as a bit of a marker. Hits the inside curb, but not too much. As I'm going to quickly invite Adam as he makes his way through turn 1 and 2. Very nicely indeed. DRS on the turn 3 straight. So exiting turn 4 now. Comes Kobe in the middle set. He's found a 10th and a half already. Tricky braking zone as he enters his way through the Sphere chicane. Taking a lot of curb. I'm pretty sure he's been doing a lot of practice for this one. Takes a lot of the inside. That makes him lose the car massively into the wall. And that may have just upset his lap. Because now throughout all of these left and right kinks that he's going to lose momentum. He's going to lose time. And, well, last week we saw in Singapore Kobe making mistakes on his second and third run. And it's continued as he exits the corner for the strip. And he's spun. Still has all 4 wheels on his car. And there, that's... The hit on the wall before ruined his lap. That certainly ruined his lap. Like we saw in Singapore, he bailed out of his second run and he, well, had a bit of a moment on the exit of 1 on his final run. And the same things happened, like I said, with his bankers. Anyway, Adam is in his car now with 7 minutes 45. I'm pretty sure he can do 2 runs. Yeah, I don't know why Adam had to add me as a friend there. I have him as a... But he's not appearing... whatever. Ah, shit. Pressed on the wrong thing there. Took me out of the game. Right. Kobe in the pit lane. Finn also in the pit lane. So... Oh, and Birdie as Josh goes up to P3 now. So... I'm guessing both Alpines also tried to do another run, but they're both being wheeled back into the pit lane. Delo's up by 3/10. This is looking good for a P3. And Vegas always serves up something. Could we see a new driver on the podium? Like Delo. 32 races now without a podium. He's on the top 10 list. And I'm sure he's going to be trying to get that Ferrari on the top 3. And if he can start in the top 3 in qualifying, that would be brilliant. I believe 5th is his best ever qualifying in EXFL Tier 2. But he's going to cross the line. And this should surely see him up to the front of the second row. It's on the front row! He's managed to find enough time to put himself just ahead of Finn. And Delo now becomes the second driver on the grid. That's a great lap from the Ferrari. Alright, let's see what others can do. Will's just finished the first sector. Charlie's up to 8th. Warren is going to drop further and further down. His teammate Adam on his outlap now. Also using the 2016 Haas livery. Looks like Birdie tried to give Finn a slipstream, but it looks like they both messed up their laps as well. Finn coming out just in front of the Red Bull there. So he'll be going again. We look back to Adam, who's on the strip at the moment. And what about Yonder? He's about to cross the line. He's going to be a few seconds off the pace, though. And will he stay where he is? He does indeed. So, Adam then, championship leader for the second race this season, leads the championship. And I'm pretty sure he will be leading after this one too. Well, he will. 100% will, mathematically. Anyway, entering turn 1 then. It's a shaky start to the lap for anyone who joins mid-quali. You either fully send it and have all the risks, or you just get into the groove and rhythm. It looks like Adam's doing a bit of both as he enters turn 3. He's been so consistent this season. 8 front rows and finally getting his first ever pole position this time last week. 26.4 in the first sector. But yeah, Adam's finally ripped that bandage off, and he's a winner. He's a pole sitter, podium sitter, fastest lap setter, and he will definitely be eyeing the next prize, the biggest prize you can win in EXFL Tier 2 or any championship for that matter, and it is to be the world champion of your season. And through the middle sector now, Yellow's just ahead of the Red Bull, getting out of the way. He navigates his way through probably the trickiest corner of the track. And he'll finish the middle sector. Red Bull just ahead. Shouldn't really be too much of a bother. Or the opposite in terms of slipstream. Moves over to the left. Finishes the middle sector split. And he'll carry on his way as we just look to Finn, who's just starting his lap. Adam, heavy braking zone into the final chicane. Takes a little bit of curb. Gets the power on. A little bit of a difficult section to navigate, but he's done it well. And now you just hope the line comes as soon as possible. Blast all your battery you have left and across the line for the championship leader. It'll be a 1 minute 31.9 to put him only P6 at the moment, but it is quite close. 1,000th ahead of Yannick. And it looks like Finn, Delo and Kobe are the ones fighting for this pole at the moment, but never discount Adam. Right, Finn's up by just about a 10th. In fact, I believe that's the quickest first sector we have seen. So, Finn, in his 5th Grand Prix for Tier 2, joined at the first race of the second half of the season and got pole position in his debut ahead of Kobe and Samurai, is currently up on the time he needs by nearly 4/10, and he's lacking 4/10 to the leader of Kobe, who's on his outlap with 3 minutes to go. These laps are getting done very early at the end of qualifying. Usually be waiting a couple more minutes. So, is this Finn's pole position to take? Or can Kobe fight back? Kobe knows there's time in the first sector. We saw he was a tenth and a half up before his mistakes. But Finn is now going to cross the line. Will it be second or will it be provisional pole? It is by 14 thousandths. Finn has managed to conjure a lap time good enough to snatch provisional pole position away from Kobe. But now we see what Kobe can deliver. He's in a bit of traffic with the Ferrari behind him and the Mercedes ahead of him. So this is going to be interesting whether they become a bit of a hindrance. As that's Yonder about to cross the line. Also starting his lap time, so he's going to get a bit of a slipstream at certain times, but dirty air is certainly going to affect his lap. As for Kobe, the Mercedes ahead of him is Matt, and considering the pace difference, Kobe could well be close to Matt by the end of his lap. Anyway, he finishes the first sector split. A little bit of a wiggle out of the exit of turn 4. Finishes the first sector split, has found that time back with the 0.1 like Finn did. But now we see what he can do through the middle sector. It was the exit at this corner where he made his mistake last time. This time he's gone very wide on the exit. Slides slightly, but it's still not as bad as his second run. Now he continues through the tight, twisty kinks. Right and then left. Has to give it everything. 14 thousandths is the gap. This time round gets the exit right. Yonder doesn't exactly get it right in the background. He's up by 0.3 of a second now. Is Kobe, and this looks like this is going to be good enough to snatch back pole position. And for good measure, he might get a little bit of slipstream. Probably not, considering Matt's too far behind. I believe that's the RB getting out the way. So just one heavy braking zone left for Kobe. Down into the final chicane. And he's got it wrong. And he's invalidated. Because that Mercedes in front of him must have been a bit of an eyesore. And Kobe has gone over the curb, gone into the pit lane. It's too late. It's the end of quali. And looks like Finn will be getting pole position. As Kobe made just one too many critical errors. And as soon as the yellow's clear, we'll see how long's left. I believe it's only a minute or so. Finn's retired. I'm sure Kobe will do the same. He had it. He had pole position in his grasp. He took too much curb. He could have lifted off. He only needed to find 15 thousandths of improvement when he was nearly 0.3 up. Now we see who else can challenge. Delo's just began his lap. What about Adam? He's on an out lap. I really wish these yellows would clear. Who's causing them at the end of the strip? Noah. Oh, because he's retired. Across the line, that was Yannick, P5 at the moment. Delo finishing the first set to split then. We'll see what he can do. He's done a 2. He's found a couple tenths. He's lacking about a tenth and a half, though, off pole position. Bit of a lock up there as crossing the line is Will to go P6 ahead of Birdie. What can Birdie do? As that's it. That's qualifying over. Adam didn't make the line either. Adam will start down in 8th while his closest rival in the championship is on the front row. Birdie also will be 7th at the moment, which is a better qualifying than previous. He was 17th this time last week and won on track, so we'll see what he can do in the race. What about Delo then, as he finishes the middle sector split? Oh, the split's right at the start of the strip, so he'll continue. And it's retirement, lap, retirement, lap. So I think there's just Delo then left. So unless Delo can do it. No, he's lost the car on the exit. And, well, Josh will cross the line, does find a 10th improvement, but doesn't gain any places. And Delo, who was 2 and a bit tenths up, probably was going to stay where he is unless he found another 10th and a half. You never know. But that is a brilliant qualifying nonetheless for Delo. His best qualifying in EXFL Tier 2. He's P3 on the grid. Kobe will be P2. And Finn, for the second time in EXFL Tier 2, is on pole position 1 week after his maiden victory. He's back at the front. And Kobe, he'll be a bit gutted with that, considering pole position looked so inset for him. But too many mistakes. But the race is now on. He knows he needs to outscore Adam by quite a bit today. 29 points between them. He needs to at least get that under a win with 4 races to go after this one. So Finn's on pole, Kobe 2nd, Delo 3rd, Josh is 4th. Great effort from him. Yannick's 5th as well. Great effort from him as well. And Will. That top 6 is very good. Ahead of Birdie, then Adam, Charlie in the top 10, Warren, even with his retirement, still 10th. Matt, then Noah, Nathan, then Bluey, Yonder, and then Ocean Blade will start at the back. Yeah, Dello saying pole wasn't out of the question there. And I really don't think it was. But Finn, the only one who didn't really make big crucial mistakes, is the one who takes pole position then. So we have a 25 lap race ahead of us. And I'm sure it's going to be full of chaos and carnage. Like always, we finish this triple header of street circuits around Baku, Singapore and Vegas, where the walls are millimeters away. And yeah, Baku served up its chaos. Singapore also. Not as much. But Vegas, we'll see. Dry race, it seems. No one talked about any rain or whatnot, so that's fine. So, 16 drivers, 25 laps, 5 races to go. The final quarter begins tonight. And while we had a stage set, there have been some developments off track where 3 of the 5 contenders are having issues. One, maybe too far behind. The other, Wi-Fi. The other, missing 3 races. So, 5 contenders has gone down to 2 for tonight. 29 points apart. 5 to go. And they can usually be both classed as the 2 quickest in the EXFL Tier 2. One starting in 6th. No, sorry. One starting in 8th and one starting in 2nd. Adam versus Kobe. As the formation lap will begin then. Finn will lead them around. And like I said, there's drivers in between who are going to be involved in the fight. Finn and Dello and Yannick and Josh and Birdie and whatnot. As we see drivers at the back along the curve starting. Actually, let's get rid of that. Right, let's have a look at tyres. Everyone is starting on the medium compound tyres. No one's taking any risks with potential early safety cars. I believe, around lap 5, you could probably pit under any VSC or safety car, and your tyres should just hang on to the end, but they will be pretty dead. Anywhere from lap 8 onwards, you should be fine. So, will Finn, obviously he's going to try and make it back-to-back victories. Sits on 52 points in the standings, wants to make his way up. And finish this second half of the season on a high. He's been a standout driver this season. So we'll see what he can do. And I'm sure Kobe, he knows he needs to go for the win tonight. To, at minimum, gain 7 points on Adam. Adam, who's been a master of making his way through the field after unfortunate circumstances, either because of him or out of his hand this season. He's managed to thread his way through so many times. The only time not being was Baku, as that is contact between the Alpine and the Sauber, and they are both going to disappear right in front of Adam's eyes. So they're going to be sat on the grid. So, how quickly can Adam get through the field? Like I said, the only time it didn't really work out for him was Baku, where I think one too many times he got involved with incidents. Not really his fault. Has finished first or second in every race this season, bar one, obviously being Baku with the P7. Every other race, he's either not started or he's retired. I think it's 4 or 5 races that he's not started in this season, and he's had 1 DNF, which was Italy. He parks himself on the grid. 5 weeks away from maybe, potentially, being world champion, but he's got drivers like Kobe who are here to stop him when the others aren't. But Finn will look to the lights and he will release the clutch and hope into turn 1 he can hold on to this lead. It's the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's round 16 out of 20. The final quarter of the season begins right here, right now. It's lights out and away we go. Finn versus Kobe off the lines. Looks like Josh hasn't had the greatest of getaways. Kobe into turn 1 takes the lead away from Finn as they go wheel to wheel, but he's got the momentum. And it looks like Dello and Josh are going wheel to wheel for P3. Dello to the inside holds on to that top 3 spot, but Josh with the switchback looks like he's now got the place, blasting his battery to gain the momentum back, and looks like Will up to 5th is ahead of Yannick too as they slot in single file, and it's Kobe ahead of Finn, Josh ahead of Dello, Will ahead of Yannick, Charlie ahead of Adam and Birdie, who dropped down the order as there's yellows at the back. And Dello back in front of Josh until Josh late on the brakes to the inside. Still hangs on to P3 and looks like that's Warren, who's dropped all the way down the order as the rest of the field behind go side by side. Adam stays where he is in P8. Charlie overtook 2 cars there as Birdie dropped down 2 places. And the fight's still not over. The Saubers getting their elbows out on the opening lap. Charlie round the outside of Yannick. This would be a great move if he can pull this off. They're wheel to wheel. And looks like Charlie doesn't have the momentum on exit. And Yannick stays ahead. Now Adam's all over the back of the Sauber. We'll look at positions gained. Biggest gainer, Ocean Blade from the back, is up into the top 10 already. Great start from him as everyone's blasting their battery down. Adam saving a little bit. Will he go to the inside? Can he make that move? Yes, he will. He'll go to the inside of Charlie. And Charlie leaves the door open, so Adam gets the move done on the Sauber. As the Sauber loses it on the exit, and he's into the wall. He's got wing damage. Unfortunately, it looks like in the background, Noah also ghosting. And Charlie's decided to give up. So we have our first retirement as Kobe leads them for the first lap ahead of Finn. Then Josh, 1.2 seconds ahead of Dello. The top 3 fighting away. Then Will, Yannick, Adam. Bit of a glitch there. Staying, well, he should be up one place, but there's a white line. Anyway, Adam's all over the back of Yannick. And he's gaining on him with the DRS. Will he send it to the inside like he did with Charlie? He's going for it. And Adam to the inside slightly tags Yannick and lets him go. That was close. Yannick could have shut the door, I believe, if he wanted to. Ocean Blade up to 8th now. He's halved the field. Brilliant opening lap in a bit for the Aston Martin. Birdie struggling down in 9th as Nathan is up into the points, fighting away with Matt. We've still got yellows of, I believe, Charlie's retired car, so he'll disappear in a few seconds. Yannick could lose DRS soon, as Will could be on the verge of P4 here, as Kobe's nearly got Finn out of a second. Now it is a second. Now it's back under, as it looks like Kobe didn't have the greatest of exits. Finn, a lot more battery than Kobe. Very level with Josh. Dello got quite a lot to burn as well. Same with Will. His fuel light is yellow. And I believe he's the only one to have a yellow fuel light. He is. So, Yannick with no battery to use. Looks like Adam's going to get the move. And it looks like Will's going to blast past Dello. Adam to the inside now. Versus Yannick. Yannick doesn't put up too much of a fight. Adam to the inside now. He gets the place. Dello and Will still fighting along. Allowing the top 3 to absolutely breeze away. And Adam sees this, and he's going to have to get past these 2 very quickly. Finn, quicker than Kobe that time round. Dello all over the back of Will, goes defensive. Dello stays behind. And will he go right around the outside? No, Will has the momentum to the inside, slides a little bit. And Adam watching this unfold. I'll put it back to that. Time penalties shouldn't be too common around this track. You either find yourself in the wall if you leave the confines, as Dello round the outside gets the move back done on Will. And Adam is going to have to try and make his way through. He spots an opportunity as Will loses the rear on the exit. And this is going to be close as Will just about holds on. Good racing and defending from the Mercedes. As it's a 2.5 second gap from Dello to the Sauber of Josh. Then Finn. Then Kobe, who's not got much battery to play with. But Finn does. And Josh definitely does. As Adam gets past Will through the kinks. That was bold. But yeah, Adam, time and time again, has made his way through the field. And now he sets himself up very well to get past Dello. We have a yellow, and that's Noah right at the back. Spun around. Anyway, we look back to Dello under pressure from Adam, who's blasted a lot of his battery, but will get the DRS. And it looks like this will be good enough to overtake the Ferrari. He'll go to the inside. Dello starts flashing too. Dello's still ahead, and he brakes later. Round the outside, turns slightly in on Adam, who has to correct himself. They still manage to go wheel to wheel, and Adam to the inside. That's so difficult to navigate, but they've managed to make their way side by side with a little bit of contact. No love lost, as Will has now got the momentum on both of them in the slipstream of the Haas and the Ferrari. The Mercedes to the inside can't quite get the move done. And Adam now has to try and find his way through on Dello as the gap gets ever bigger. 4 seconds now to the front. And will Adam try it into turn 3, or is he too far behind? He's not blasting. So he'll wait for the strip. Tense moments in the opening laps of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Bit of a train happening from 4th all the way down to 9th. Ocean Blades lost a place to Birdie, who's back on the pace, it seems. Birdie going a little defensive just in case of any send. It looks like Matt's got ahead of Nathan for P10. Yonder not a million miles away from these either. Bluey a bit on his own. Same with Warren. Same with Noah. He's lost his right end plate. Has the Red Bull. Delo's actually pulled a bit of a gap to Adam here. And Matt all over the back. They have to really watch themselves. There's Matt. Catches the wall. Lucky escape. But that's going to lose him momentum all the way down this whole strip now. As this time round, Adam looks like he's going to get the move. He has the DRS on Delo as that's a move for the lead. Finn overtakes Kobe. And Adam looks like he's going to overtake Delo. Which he does. So a few changes. Crucial changes for the race at the moment. As Adam makes his way past the cars at the early stages. And that's Nathan getting ahead of Matt. Good stuff from him. But Matt, with blasting his battery, and Nathan, with I don't think any to use, now gets back ahead. As look at that, Josh. What's happened to Josh? He was right with the top two. Now he's lost nearly 3 seconds. So Adam will spy his next target and try and get onto this podium. Really, unless I'm guessing Josh just made a big mistake, unless he ran into the back of Kobe or Kobe turned in on him. Whatever the case, it's Finn versus Kobe. As that's Nathan. That's Noah around. With more wing damage. Another driver getting caught by that exit corner. Whoa, Josh doing it again. He's made another mistake. And it looks like he's really struggling. 5 laps in on those mediums. Could they really be that worn? Or maybe he's just got his own issues with his setup or something. I'm not sure. Either way, Adam is closing hand over fist on the Sauber, while allowing the top two to get away. And looks like Kobe, who's definitely got a lot more battery this time round, will try and retake the lead of the race with Finn. It's in Kobe's interest to work with the Alpine, I guess, today, to minimum get 10 points over Adam, who looks like he could get P3 in this race soon, as Finn is overtaken by Kobe. You can see in the background all the cars dialing in one by one. It is a great shot. And yeah, Adam 1.8 behind, bringing Delo and Will along with him. Yannick around a second behind. He might be able to extend that train down to 9th, as that's a more aggressive fight between Matt and Nathan once again. And this is good racing between them. Nathan with 0% though, and looks like Matt will blast away for the second lap in a row. Birdie still under pressure from Ocean Blade. Yannick within a second, slides though, as these three are trying to stick within 1 second of the fight, all the way up to 4th, and Adam seems to have Delo out of a second, but Delo has the DRS. Bluey and Warren. Warren's out in the pit lane, I believe. No, it's not. That's a safety car. Oh wait, no. Bluey's crashed, sorry. Oh. So Bluey's crashed, I believe, on the start-finish straight. May have been an incident with Warren. Right, anyway, we have a safety car then because Bluey has crashed, and you'd assume it's on the start-finish straight, not in the pit lane. So that will allow everyone to make their pit stops. And I did say around lap 5, 6 and whatnot, you can pit for hards, you can go to the end. Your tyres might be a bit wrecked by the end, but it is an opportunity. And this helps most of all, I guess, Adam, because he'll be able to catch back up to the front. He was going to catch Josh anyway. But yeah. Yeah, it was an incident between Warren and Bluey. Warren saying, sorry, Bluey, not sure what happened. So they did have an incident on the start-finish straight, which has brought out the yellow dot. And it looks like it's a no-brainer for everyone to pit. Obviously, no rules on crossing white lines. You can do that if you want. It really doesn't matter. And, yep, everyone filing into the pit lane. You just have to make sure you don't speed. It would be quite silly under a safety car. No pressure to get in and out as quick as possible. As yeah, hard compound tyres going on for Kobe, Finn, Josh, everyone you would expect. Adam, Yannick, Delo, and they should resume in their order. And it looks like no one stayed out. Literally everyone came into the pit lane. as it's just that big of a no-brainer. So the order remains the same. Well, actually, it doesn't, because Birdie's had to wait a little because his teammate's in second, which has cost him a few places. Same with Nathan, because his teammate's in seventh. And even though Will's sixth and Matt was not too far behind him, Matt somehow managed to be all right. Same with Yonder, with Dello in fifth. So some have gotten away with it, some haven't. I guess it was depending on the gaps. As the Sphere, very confused, I guess, with how, I don't know, I don't know, Yonder's in the points, I guess. I guess that's what the Sphere is confused about. Got to wait for Noah. Now, I'll reiterate, I did say this before we readied up, and I'll say it again if any of the drivers are listening to the stream. You see on the minimap, we have a Haas of Warren and a Red Bull of Noah. If that Red Bull joins the pack when these guys are at the end of the strip, we'll probably get that glitch where it will say safety car in this lap, but then it will go out for one more lap. And what you just basically have to do is just stay in single file, don't overtake everyone as if it was a restart, and just go for one more lap under safety car conditions. Even if you don't catch the safety car because you're under a delta, we've had this before, and we had to, well, because we didn't know of it at the time, we restarted and whatnot. At least we know of the glitch now. So it's up to Noah to catch the pack at a sensible time. So right now, exactly where they're going, if Noah was at the end of the strip where that yellow dot is, we would probably have the glitch. Oh my god, what's Warren done now? How has he done that? You know what? Whatever. Into the pit lane comes Ocean Blade. Oh, he put the mediums on. Oh no. So Ocean Blade looks like he made a bit of an error there. Oh, he has to change his front wing as well. Warren stays out. Looks like his front wing's fine. Ocean Blade will now have to catch the pack. Same with Noah. Are you serious? Yeah, this is going to be close. Anyway, to all those tuning in, hope you're enjoying the race so far and that qualifying. It was very intense for some. Just waiting for Noah to catch the pack then, and like I just explained, with the way he's closing in, I really don't know if we're going to have this glitch. Because it won't be in this lap. It shouldn't be in this lap. But where you see that number 3 at the end of the strip with the yellow dot, that's when the safety car message should appear. And once they pass it, we shouldn't get any message. But when Noah passes it, there will be. Actually, now that I think about it, Noah's that slow that we're not going to get... Oh, we are going to get it. Okay, never mind. Looks like we're going to get it then. I honestly didn't think we were, but whatever. Kobe's going to lead us around then for the restart. I'm just going to ride on board with Kobe. So we see the safety car pull to the left. It's going to go in the pit lane, and Kobe's really getting on with this. He's not slowing down at all. He has to wait until the safety car's in the pit lane at least, Kobe. It's not really in the pit lane yet, and he's having to slow down, but he goes on anyway. And I think he might have just been able to get the job done as Dello overtakes Adam and Josh at the restart. Adam spins Josh around there, and looks like we are green flag running, as Kobe really should have done a better job to slow down there, but I guess it's fine. As Kobe then holds onto the lead. Finn second. Dello got the perfect jump on Adam and Josh, and looks like Adam, whoa, that was close to the back of Dello, and he hits the wall slightly, as that's Birdie and Yonder fighting away. That's Will getting ahead of Adam. It's all happening at the restart. Adam to the inside of Will, and just about gets his way through as parging his way past is Yannick on Matt. Getting their elbows out. Birdie in 8th. Yonder in 9th. Josh now, unfortunately, down to 10th. I mean, we'll have to have another look at that, but it did look like Adam spun Josh around. Adam, who had an instant with, Navek last week, but it didn't get sent in. This time round it might. Who knows? But yeah, they've all caught the pack, bar Noah, and we can continue the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Kobe then, half a second ahead of Finn. Dello already out of a second behind. Adam still hanging on to fourth. His send on Will. Aggressive, but I guess it's fine, because Will was nowhere near shoved off or anything. So Adam's still getting his elbows out to hang on, and Dello perfected that restart. So we see three different lines there from Josh, Birdie, and Matt. Big ghosting going on between the Alpine and the Mercedes. As we finish lap 10, DRS enabled. And we see Birdie, I guess, using the ghosting system to his advantage. And Matt down the inside. Whoa! Oh my god! He's done the Cars 3 overtake as Josh trying to overtake Matt. Birdie saying, move of the season right there. It was probably some lag. But yeah, Birdie's ahead of Josh, ahead of Matt now as Noah gets a 10-second for speeding. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe retires from the race. There we go. Oh my god, second lap in a row. Haas has gone deep there and hit the wall. And now Ocean Blade is fighting away with Warren. As Warren to the inside should have the move, which he does. Yeah, the Sphere can't believe it. What we've just seen. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know what happened. It's always this race as well, which is weird. Right, after missing a few laps, I believe from like lap 9 to lap 12, I disconnected. Don't know what happened. Let's see what's changed. Not much, actually. Right, so, lap 13, Kobe is now 1.2 seconds ahead of Finn, 4 seconds ahead of Dello, who's still ahead of Adam, who's still ahead of Will, who's still ahead of Yannick, then Josh, then Birdie, Yonder. Don't know what's happened to Ocean Blade, he's dropped off the pack. As to the inside, oh my god, that's very deep, for the Sauber with Birdie and Josh. Yeah, Yonder, then Warren overtaking Ocean Blade to the inside. These two have not had the greatest last few races when fighting one another. Matt is also down to 12th with Nathan too. So these four at the back, they carry on. So we look further front, that's Josh into the wall again. And yeah, Dello kind of doing what they did in the first bit before the first safety car. Making a bit of a gap to the leaders for Adam. But it looks like Adam will try and overtake him this time round with DRS. Because he's got a lot more to play with than Dello. And Kobe doing exactly what he needs to. So yeah, apologies about that. Literally couldn't do anything. It just said lost connection to Xbox Live. Turned off the stream. Turned off, yeah, even my phone was getting a bit laggy. Anyway. I'll have to probably... Oh, no. Will has been spun. That was on... he was side by side with Dello when that happened. So, whoa. And there's the other Mercedes. Unfortunately for Will, he was driving a great race. Maybe he can get back into it. But, yeah, Adam ahead now of Dello. Already a second built up with the lead. And now he sets his sight on the top two. Finn trying to get it back under a second. Hasn't quite got DRS this time round. So, that is Adam under investigation for the thing with Josh. Yeah, and that's Dello now under investigation for the thing with Matt, who's, not Matt, Will, as Matt's gone off there at turn 1. So, we've lost Charlie, we've lost Bluey, and we've lost Noah. Charlie, who gave up on the first lap, Bluey, who crashed, and then Noah, who gave up in the pit lane. So, right, we have just over 10 laps to go of this. Yep. Very chaotic Las Vegas Grand Prix. I'm going to have to stitch together these two streams now, aren't I? Great. Alright, let's hope that's the end of that. Right, Adam, 4 seconds to close on the leaders. Or maybe 5 seconds to pull away on those behind if he gets a penalty. If it was his fault. We saw Dello get overtaken by Adam, and then it looked like Will went to the inside of Dello, got caught on the curb. Either it was his mistake for the send, or Dello turned in and spun him. Either way, he's now under pressure from Yannick, who's already been on the podium this season in Baku, as has Birdie, and they're both putting Dello under pressure. As Yannick flies past Dello, who has no battery, and that was a cleaner, easier move than last lap with the Ferrari. As that's Ocean Blade getting past Warren, or is he? Because Warren breaks later around the outside, leaves him, just enough room. As that's Birdie getting ahead of Dello now with 70% use. Dello with nothing. Birdie and Yannick, who have already shared the podium in Baku, are now 4th and 5th. And, well, they're really getting their elbows out with 10 laps to go. And it looks like Birdie is now going to try and overtake Yannick. Nathan with a 3-sec. Oh, yeah, that's what I forgot to do. Yeah, Warren, Nathan, and Matt with penalties. And we see Birdie closing up to Yannick, blasting his battery. Will he go for it? He will. To the inside. Birdie versus Yannick. Birdie slides. Yannick leaves him so much space. He goes into the wall. And Yannick and then Birdie and then Dello and Josh. I don't know if Birdie just put Dello in the wall there or they both just hit it, but they managed to all still face forward. Yonder's making his way slowly and quietly up to 8th. Good for him. Dello really under pressure now. As Birdie will try and get Yannick on the strip. Adam looks like he's about half a second a lap quicker at the moment, but with only 10 laps to go, we'll see. Finn looks like he's further behind on Kobe. They both have exactly 6%. And Adam, pretty much. So the top 3 giving it absolutely everything. And yeah, Birdie has plenty of battery to use on Yannick. And this should be quite an easy move to make for the Alpine. Alpine, who once again now have both in the top 4. So yeah, took a while for this race, but Birdie's now finally back in action, showing his pace. Warren now fighting away with Will, who leaves the space. Warren gets another time penalty, but he gets the move. As oh, he's letting him go, which is, you know what, that's actually fair. But he'll try again. Will goes defensive. Warren can't quite get a move, but maybe Will go too deep. He's parked on the apex slightly, but Warren's hit him wide. And will Warren get the place? Will to the inside, and he gets spun by Warren. So even though he's going to try and change, there's still contact when he fights people, whether it's his fault or not. And it looks like Josh has got past Dello. Looks like Yonder's now trying to get past Dello. The 2 Ferraris now fight. And Dello, unfortunately, is just going backwards in this race. After being 5th, going up to 3rd at the restart, has now dropped to 7th, with his teammate right behind him in 8th. And Josh slowing down, it seems, for some reason. Well, oh, disqualified. Okay. Well, he did just get spun by Warren, and he's still there for some reason. But yeah, Will's been disqualified now. 2.1 seconds now between Kobe and Finn. Birdie 4 seconds behind Adam. Podium might still be on here, especially if we get another safety car. So yeah, Josh slowed down. Don't know if it was for any sort of DRS chicken games, but he's gaining on Dello. Doesn't get the move done. Yonder's lost a lot of ground. Goes over the bump. Surprised I didn't send him wide, to be fair. Right, we start lap 17. 9 to go. And yeah, these hards are going to be in very interesting shape. It's about who can keep the wear and who can use them wisely. Right, so Matt at the back after going wide at turn 1. Will got disqualified. Still don't really know why. Ocean Blade, after halving the field in the first few laps after starting at the back, has never really made much inroads on that. And it's now down in 10th, fighting away with Warren. Yonder, Josh and Dello still with Yannick, who's over a second behind Birdie now. And soon Adam's going to be closer to Finn than Finn is going to be close to Kobe. Kobe doing everything right once again to get this win. And if Adam does get 5 seconds over Birdie, I guess no matter what happens, he'll hold on to 3rd. So 29 points between Adam and Kobe will go down to 19 with 4 races to go at the moment. As you can see on the minimap, that big train behind Yannick with Dello, Josh and Yonder. As we see behind, that is Ocean Blade trying to get past Warren. 3% to his name. Warren with 40, blasting. And Ocean's ahead, but once again, Warren breaks later. Goes around the outside, leaves the room this time. Cuts the corner again, I think. And he is ahead. Looks like Yannick struggling there with his tyres. Oh, that's... Oh, bit of lag there, I think. Yeah, that Sauber's definitely lagging. Anyway, Birdie looks like he's closing in on Adam now. He's in the background. They still stay single file. So yeah, it's always around the halfway stage, maybe just before, maybe just after, where Birdie just becomes probably one of, if not the fastest driver on track, as Warren and Ocean Blade are fighting once again. I mean, so far, so good, it seems. As Warren is ahead now of the Aston Martin. You see Kobe, then Finn, then Adam in the background. Then we can see Birdie, followed by Yannick. No, we can't. As that's Josh trying to make a move on Dello, 42%. Dello with nothing. As they're really gaining on Yannick. Dello still manages to have the straight line speed to be wheel to wheel with the Sauber, who squeezes Dello out there and leaves him vulnerable to his teammate who nearly runs into him. As that's Warren ahead of Ocean Blade. As into the pit lane, that's Yannick with only 5 laps to go. That's interesting. I would have thought for sure all these guys were making their tyres last to the end. Birdie's closed a few more tenths on Adam, who's closed up to Finn. Finn really dropping off at the moment. Yannick puts the medium compound tyres on, and he's going to go to the end of the race on those as Yonder. It's a bit of a swap. It was Dello, Josh, Yonder. Now it's Yonder, Josh, Dello. Yonder, who started, what, 15th? Yeah. Wow, this is a great return to form for Yonder. We always used to see him do these kind of races, finish 5th, 4th, or 3rd. And we haven't actually seen that much this season from him. But yeah, this is a great drive from him so far. He's up in a 5th. Good stuff. But I'm sure the job's not done. Josh and Dello still with him. And still going to put him under pressure. Speaking of putting under pressure, Adam now closes to under 2 seconds to Finn. And Birdie's lost half a second this lap. See in the background, Yonder under pressure now. Josh back in front, and there goes Dello as well. But he can't quite get the move done. 10%, 62, 41. As Warren now trying to fight his way past Nathan. He's closed up. And Nathan's still to the inside. Warren can turn in, but he gives space. And he gets ahead anyway. So, yeah, good move from Warren. As Ocean Blade now with 0%, fighting Nathan with 6%. And they're going to go wheel to wheel through the final corner. And that's Ocean Blade with a penalty. They're slightly rubbing tyres. Nathan and Ocean Blade, slight contact. But should be okay. And Nathan's ahead. And all of a sudden, Matt's there from nowhere too. Didn't realise as Yannick is going to be catching this group of 4 cars very quickly. And even if he doesn't overtake them, he's going to beat them all anyway because they all have penalties. As to the inside, Nathan goes deep. That allows Ocean Blade, but he loses the rear on the corner. And that allows Matt to the inside, spying an opportunity to take P10 away. To the inside, loses the rear, forces Ocean Blade really wide, and there's 2 free positions for Yannick. Big mistake from Matt there, who just lost the car, hit Ocean Blade wide, and that might both secure them with no points this race. And Yannick will close up to the back of Nathan. Shouldn't be too hard of a challenge, considering, you know, their teammates. Yonder back up in a 5th, though, as he gets ahead of Josh. Dello falling further behind. Adam now within half a second of Finn, who's dropped 4 seconds behind now. Same with Birdie. As we have 4 laps to go of this Las Vegas Grand Prix. Well, 5 actually, but yeah. Yannick gets ahead of Nathan. Looks like an easy move. What is that line? Anyway, next up for Yannick is Warren. He's got to be careful. Oh, Josh is in now as well. Wow, these are very late pit stops. Yannick, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Josh puts another set of hard compound tyres on with 5 laps to go. Ocean Blade's out in the pit lane after he sped, and Matt sped as well. So I think we know who our top 10 point scorers are going to be. And now, Adam's first chance to overtake Finn, who's slowing down. Maybe playing DRS games. And Adam through the kinks. These two have had quite a few fights in the short career of Finn joining. Goes over the curb. Goes deep into the wall. Adam gets the move, putting Finn under pressure. And does Finn now have wing damage? I think visibly he's fine. But Adam put him under big pressure there. And he's gone over the curb into the wall. And he's now dropped to third, over a second behind. Now Adam needs to maybe just gain a 5-second gap in case of anything. We can see Birdie in the background now. It's these four once again, like it was last week, but in a different order. Where it wasn't an Alpine, it was an Alpine 1-2 last week. It's an Alpine 3-4 this week. It's the complete opposite order, actually. As Matt goes off there. I mean, Kobe has one more lap to go until we won't have any more safety cars. Anyway, everyone else looks like they're taking their hards to the end of the race. Yannick. Oh, I didn't see when he overtook Warren, but looks like it went well. Nathan, under pressure from Josh. He's going to lose out because he has the penalty. And the two Ferraris now separated by nearly 2 seconds. Yonder looks like he's going to get a very well-earned P5. It's unfortunate for Dello, who started third today, P6. I'm sure he'll be a little disappointed with that, as that first podium still awaits him. And it's going to be another podium of Finn, Adam and Kobe, it seems. Again, we'll have to see what happens to Adam. Finn and Birdie could be second and third. Yeah, we'll see what Josh says about what happened at turn 1. As for Dello, Yannick's going to be closing in on him. 9.4. 9.2. Yeah, it's going to be going down all the time. He was 5th when he pitted, so still technically he's made a loss of his stop at the moment. Yellow for Dello. It's unfortunate he's lost his right end plate. So that will allow Yannick to really close up to the Ferrari. So we've lost Will, who stopped on track or something, got disqualified. Charlie, who retired on the opening lap. Bluey, who crashed on the start-finish straight. Noah, who retired in the pit lane. Ocean Blade, who retired in the pit lane. We just saw a swap there. Who was that? Josh and Warren. So Josh is ahead of Warren now. As he got Nathan, now he's got Warren. Now he's back up into 8th. Dello carries on. 3 to go, so no safety cars. So we only had 1 this race as Kobe hits the wall there slightly. And Josh takes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 33.9. It was... Who had it? 34.3. 34.2. Oh, it was Yannick. Now, what can Birdie do? Will he close up to Finn? Will it be an Alpine fight for the final step on the podium? At the moment, Birdie's too far behind at the moment, but once again, he's driven a great race. Consistently top 5 finishers now for the Alpine, which is great. Looks like Adam's closing a little bit on Kobe. That's another, we could hear, slight hit of the wall for Finn. 1.6 seconds now. And Birdie might have a go on Finn on the last lap as it stands. Yonder on his own at the moment. Dello with that wing damage. Struggling as Yannick closes up to him. So it seems like that pit stop's only going to cause Yannick to lose two points to Yonder. And it looks like Matt might try and take fastest lap because he's on the softs now. Nathan also pitted for the softs. Right, lap 24 then, penultimate lap. The top 2 in the race, I think, will be the top 2 in the World Championship after this race. I think. Let me check. Right, so Kobe was on 160 points. He wins today, puts him on 185. 1 point ahead of his teammate Samurai. And 4 points ahead of Eggy. So yes, this will put Kobe up to P2 in the World Championship. He's never been higher than 4th when he was 8 points behind before he missed the 2 races just after the second half began. So it will be Adam with a 22-point lead with 4 races to go if we take this game result. Yannick is ahead of Dello. Looks like that was pretty easy for him. Can he catch 9 seconds in 1.5 laps? Probably not. Birdie still 1.5 behind Finn. Adam closing the gap 2 under 5 seconds. He's pushing because he wants the gap to be over 5 seconds to Finn, just in case. And, well, he's got to get 1 more second in 1 lap. That's going to be a tall order. But, yeah, leaving Vegas, the top 2 in this race will be the top 2 in the World Championship. Adam, who's finished 1st or 2nd in every race, bar 1 in 7th with the DNFs and DNSs. I mean, if he does get a 5 sec, that'll actually put him to 3rd for the first time this season. And, well, at the moment, Birdie and Finn are both literally just hanging into that 5-second gap. We start the final lap then for Kobe, who once again has had a flawless drive, has done everything right, not put a foot wrong. Adam, who's had to make his way through the field once again, has had a few iffy moments, but he's still pushing strong, is the championship leader. And Finn, 4 seconds by, but now Birdie is within a second of his teammate. And, well, Finn's not got that much battery, and Birdie does have a decent amount. And will we see the Alpines fight? Will Birdie get close enough is the main question. As Yonder still looking good in 5th, Yannick 6th, Dello 7th, Josh close to Dello, to be fair. Dello could lose another place here. He's also under investigation, I think. Same with Adam. The gap is actually borderline 5 seconds between the Haas and the Alpine. Now it's over that. So Adam's done enough, even if he gets a penalty. Great stuff from the Haas driver to be that quick over the last few stints of the laps. But now we'll see. Is Birdie close enough? He's got to gain 1 whole second on a straight. But Finn has also saved his battery too. Riding on board with the Alpine as Kobe's coming through the final couple corners. Unfortunately, I think Birdie's just going to run out of laps. 1 more lap and he may have got his teammate. But he's too far behind for now. So Kobe will be crossing the line soon. And he makes his bid in the final quarter to close in on his friend and rival now for the championship. Kobe wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Here under the night sky, Adam will finish P2. And it will be Finn on the podium then, just ahead of Birdie for P3 and P4 with the 2 Alpines in formation across the line. And that's Josh. Oh, and Dello spinning around as it looks like there was an instant between those two. Yonder, P5. Great result from him. Yannick will be P6 across the line. Josh will be 7th. And Dello will be P8. Warren behind him. Even if Josh got a pen now and Dello didn't, he's got the gap, I guess. Oh, Dello is not happy. Warren P9, Nathan will be 10th, Matt will be 11th. Kobe has won the Las Vegas Grand Prix and brings the gap down from 29 to 22 points. And if he wins the next 3 races and Adam's P2, will go into the final race, 1 point between them at this rate. But I'm pretty sure it won't be as smooth sailing as today. Texas will be next week, the doubleheader in the States. But the first half, advantage Williams. Right, Kobe, Adam, Finn. Right, let's get the top three in the pie. I hope you all enjoyed that race. It was a bit chaotic and hectic. Finn, Kobe. Where's Adam? Oh, there he is. Right, we have the top three joining the party now after a hard fought and earned podium at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Right, we have Finn joining at the moment. Still waiting on Kobe and Adam. You there, mate? Hello. Have you included your audio?
Is there a button on foot?
I think there was last week when you joined.
I'm on mobile instead of PC. I'm joining PC, but I know the quality will sound a bit worse.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
No worries, though.
Right, we have Kobe joining now as well. There we go. Kobe's in. You there, mate? Hello. Yeah, I think you're a bit quiet. I can barely hear you, mate. Hello. I still I can barely hear you, unfortunately.
Hello?
There we go. Hello.
It's not
Um.
telling me to include my audio, so
Oh,
I don't know
because
if I can.
right. I know why. Give me a sec. There we go.
Oh, there's.
Yeah, I don't know if it also works for you, Finn, now as well. You there, Finn?
What was that? Sorry.
I've just enabled a setting. Are you able to include your audio now? There might be a button now.
Not that I can see.
Okay, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it works on phone anyway.
I'll join and leave and do it on my PC.
Okay, that's fine. I'll interview one,
Okay,
two,
yeah.
three then. All right. I'll just send him an invite for when he needs it. Right, Kobe. Hello.
Hello.
Obviously, start off with you, the race winner. So that was another fantastic commanding drive around the streets of Las Vegas. Did you see when I messaged you earlier, just before the race,
No.
of what I said?
No.
Oh, you have not checked your phone. Great. Never mind. We'll get to that in a minute. So, qualifying must have actually been a bit disappointing from your end. After a great banker, it was a bit of a Singapore 2.0 with your second and third runs not exactly going to plan. The second one, I guess, was a bit more on you. The third one, a bit more distracting. Just what happened from your POV?
The second run, obviously that was my fault, but the third one, I saw that I had the time on my lap, and then as I went into the last couple of corners, it just went to pot basically. I think I got distracted by the car in front.
Yeah, too much curb on the inside
Yeah.
sent you deep and whatnot. So yeah, just missed out 14 thousandths on Finn. It was a close quali. But then the start, you had an electric start to take the lead into turn one. And then you had a little few swaps with Finn. And then after the safety car, around lap 9, I disconnected. So I missed lap 9 to lap 13. When I rejoined, you had pulled a second away from Finn. Just what happened in those few laps?
You didn't really miss much. It was just I could see that I had a bit more pace in the middle sector than Finn. So I think I pulled about 9 tenths, and then I just drained a bit of my battery before the straight, and then I think you rejoined when I was like starting. I think what was it like lap
13.
13, and then that's when I pulled the 2 tenths. And yeah, I made a little mistake. That's what made him get back into the
Ah,
DRS.
right. Yeah, it was close. I saw 1.2 and then it went 1 second.
Yeah.
I saw you hit the wall at turn 3 a few times, but besides that, yeah, great drive. And then after that, you just pulled away from Finn, who looked like he was struggling on his tyres. Obviously, I knew a lot of you would just go to the end after the safety car. How were your hards by the end of the race? Were they
I think there was like
percent-wise?
75%.
Damn, fair enough. I can understand why a few people pitted now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never really looked back as soon as Finn started to fall a bit behind, and it was another commanding drive. So yeah, this is what I wanted to just clear up, considering I don't think you saw my message. Of the 5 of you, with 5 races left, obviously there's 4 now, 4 races left, you, Adam, Evan, Samurai and Eggy, 3 of the 5 of you might actually now be out of this. Evan, heading into this, was already quite far behind anyway, and he was ill today, so he's missed. So I think we can probably rule out Evan. As for Samurai and Eggy, probably out of the 4 of you, the 2 most consistent. Samurai is missing the next 3 races, this one and the next 2, so he's now kind of ruled out of it, unfortunately. So your teammate, might have just lost his chance there. And as for Eggy, you'll all understand, since Netherlands, he's been having those issues with Wi-Fi and connections and whatnot. It's very difficult to fight him. So he's missed today, and he's starting uni and whatnot, so he might not be able to, do that much. And so he might also now be out of this, unfortunately, which leaves you and Adam, 2 mates, now maybe turning rivals, because after today, you were on 160 points, now you're on 185. You're 1 point ahead of Samurai and 4 points ahead of Eggy, which means, for the first time, you are now the runner-up in the World Championship. 29 points behind Adam, goes down to 22 with 4 races to go. So from how I see it, with 4 to go, it is you versus Adam for the World Championship. So game on. So yeah, well done today.
Cheers.
I hope that little speech wasn't too overwhelming for you, because you've definitely got the pace to close that gap. We'll see how Adam can do with his great consistency as well. I said, if you win the next 3 and Adam second in the next 3, we go into the final race with Adam 1 point ahead of you. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, well done today. The first half of the doubleheader in the States. Next is Kota. How are you feeling about Texas?
Well, I'm feeling good. I know that my setups are gonna be on par because, Crossbar Strikes. He normally supplies me with the setups, and
All right.
he teaches me like the ERS and things around there. So it really helps with each of the races. But I think I've only done 1 league race around there, and I think it was in Bazzi. I don't think it went very well.
Yeah, Kota's a track that a lot of people just haven't really done that many league races around, so we'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for today, well done. It's once again another brilliant win in this fantastic rookie season of yours. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, you were 8 points behind before you missed the 2 races, in 4th in the standings, and you've now shot up to 2nd for the first time. So 22 points, 4 races. I'm not even going to ask, do you think you can do it? Because that would be silly. You're going to obviously try and give it your all. And we'll see where we are in a month's time, I guess. So yeah, well done today. On to P2. Adam, are you there, mate? Have you included your audio?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, all right. So I'm sure you heard all that, and I'm sure you're still proud that your lead has now been technically extended. So yeah, qualifying. You joined mid-quali. You had to get 2 runs on the board. It was good enough for 8th in the end. How was quali from your point of view? Do you think there was time on the table, or was that everything you could do within the short time span you had?
Nah, if I had another run, I think possibly another half a second, maybe.
That's fair.
I made a mistake just going onto the strip. I went a bit deep into the corner. Yeah, there's probably more time in that lap, but I just didn't have enough time to get around and do another.
Yeah, that's fair. We've seen time and time again this season where you've been around 6th or 8th or whatnot, whether that be at the end of lap 1 on the grid or whatnot. But yeah, once again, you managed to make your way through pretty well. Got up to 4th before the safety car, which I guess actually helped you close up to the leaders. And then I guess I can ask both you and Kobe this. The restart. Kobe, you did not wait around with that restart. You didn't slow the pack up because you caught the safety car when it was entering the pit lane, and that made others. I don't know if it made others per se, but Adam and I think Josh got jumped by Dello at the restart. So just what was happening from both of your POVs?
How do you first?
Uh, alright, sitting in the Discord call, Coben said that he was gone. So like everyone behind him was accelerating. I got going, and then I just remember pretty much just coming to a stop right at the finish line, and then well, I think I was going too fast, and if I just held my brakes fully in, I was either gonna hit the back of the Sauber in front, or I was probably just gonna end up locking brakes and still running into him. So then I ended up like pulling alongside him, and then to be honest, I have no idea what happened at turn one. I just saw him spun round. Well,
Oh yeah, that was also what I was going to mention. It looked like either Josh had gone into your car and spun, or it looked like you spun him. So the whole race, I was just kind of wary, and I was thinking, if Adam has a 5 second penalty, where will that put him? And then on like the last lap, you got 5 seconds over Finn, so it didn't really even matter. Um, so yeah, I just saw that happen, and I guess a bit of a word of advice, Kobe. Like, I don't think you did anything wrong per se. Again, I have to watch it back because some people were saying the restart was a bit and usually that is down to the leader. But again, I need to look at it back. But the only thing I really caught was you could have slowed down a little bit because you generally did catch the safety car when it was going in, which looked interesting.
I had a bit of brain fart.
You've led so many races now and so many restarts. So yeah, just a bit of a heads up. Don't worry. It happens. Hopefully that shouldn't be too much talked about going forward. Anyway, so Adam, yeah, you were in fourth. The restart happened, so you had to do a bit more work. As soon as I left and rejoined, I saw you were still behind Dello. So I'm guessing for 4 laps he was keeping you at bay.
yeah, I was getting a bit frustrated to be honest because I was a lot quicker than him, but I just didn't. I had the battery to get past him one lap, but then going into turn one, he just got me back again. So then I was trying to just make sure I saved enough battery. But there was one lap where he decided he was playing DRS games for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's like lap 11 or something.
Yeah, eventually you got past him though. It looked like Dello was really struggling after that because you left them all. And then Birdie got past him, and then Birdie was not too far behind you. The gap went from like I think 3.4 to 5 point something in the end, so a few seconds. I think in the end you probably were the quickest on track because obviously you were cleaning on not only Finn but Kobe as well. So you closed down Finn. I'm sure that must have been quite enjoyable to see all your hard work paid off in the end because as soon as you actually were behind Finn, he made a mistake over the curb, and then you were free to do what you wanted by the end. Am I right with saying that?
Yeah, to be honest, when that happened, he was pretty much going straight on into the wall. But then I kept on turning left as I was trying to accelerate, and I think I almost hit the wall, or I walked far off of it in the wall.
Jeez.
And there was kind of irrelevant to that. But there was one lap fairly early on. It must have been like lap 5 or 4 or something. Coming out the chicane by the sphere, I had a lot of oversteers. I think
Oh, right.
I was almost going in the wall on the left then.
Oh, I mean, every wall pretty much got hit by someone today. So those who finished well just made the least amount of mistakes. Quick question back to Kobe, however. I've just remembered Kobe. At the start, when it was you, Finn, and the Sauber of Josh, what happened to Josh? Like, why did he suddenly fall 3 seconds behind you two? Or do you not know?
I think he just had a. I think he just made a mistake because on the second to last corner, I kept seeing him like losing traction and nearly going into the wall. So unless he did that and kind of
right.
like spawn, I don't know.
Yeah, because I saw the gap was 2.8. I rode on board with him, and then heading into the sphere section, he made another mistake, which made it go from like 2.8 to 3.6. So yeah, I was just wondering, considering you were second, whether he had any like battle with you or if he just lost on his own. Okay, that's fair. Right, so yeah, Adam, you once again climbed your way through the field well. Even if you get a penalty or whatever, even if you get sent in, you'll stay second either way. So yeah, well done. Another top two finish, and yeah, you're what was it? Your your 5 point lead over Samurai has now turned into a 22 point lead over Kobe. To make that as clear as it is, no driver has been more than 7 points ahead of. No driver who's led the standings has been more than 7 points ahead of P2 all season. So for you to have a 22 point lead is massive. But it's ahead of this guy, Kobe, your mate, and now, like I said, rival for the championship. Will you two continue to be in calls for the final few races, or will it get a bit fruity and feisty for the final
No.
few and decide to go on your own?
Still sit in the call because one of our mates just sits in here and gives us basically
Oh, right.
engineers both of us, gives us strategies, gives us
Ah,
CRS
right.
maps, and gives
That's
us
fair.
everything really.
But yeah, I mean, you two are making a habit of being on the podium together, whether it's second, third, or first and second or whatnot. You're getting the points, consistently winning. Unfortunately for Samurai and Eggy, they were very consistent and they were getting the wins and whatnot. But unfortunately, I think the pace was an issue for a few of them sometimes, and allowed, because I still put you two as probably the two quickest. So again, it kind of makes sense for the two quickest to be fighting for this championship, if you get what I mean. But yeah, there'll be drivers like Finn and Birdie and whatnot, like I said, and Dello, who get in the mix of this, and Square Giraffe, who didn't race today. He'll be back next week. We'll see. But yeah, well done, Adam. 22 point lead then. 4 races to go before we claim a driver's champion. I think no matter what, Kobe's going to be happy some way or another because he's going to win the Constructors with Williams. So there's that. But yeah, I'm sure full focus is on the drivers. I will ask, because why not? Even though there's 4 races to go, can we get any sort of statement from you and Kobe of what you want to expect in these final 4 and what you're going to try and achieve?
What do you mean?
Like, what's your mindset and goals for the final few races, one at a time, all on the championship? What you're going to do, how determined you are, and etc. You don't have to if you don't want to. Don't worry.
I mean, kind of just take it one at a time. Just put enough practice in. I didn't manage to do any practice today. That's what kind of part of the reason why I started at 8:30. But yeah, just take it one at a time. Just try and think about it as much as I can. Not try and get myself involved in too many stupid battles or stuck behind some people for too long.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. Kobe, what about you?
Probably just do what I've been doing the whole season, just taking each race as it is, trying to learn the track as much as I can, and just try and perform my best in that one race.
Yeah, those are 2 great, mature championship contender answers. So yeah, I'm grateful to see we have 2 great candidates then for this season's closure. So yeah, well done to you two. And Finn, I haven't forgotten about you. Don't worry. We're moving on to P3. Finn in the Alpine. Are you there, mate? Hello. Are you able to include your audio this time? You're still a bit quiet there, mate.
Sorry, no.
I can't hear you. You're just a little quiet.
Might have to switch over to my AirPods.
I will just wait for Finn then. But yeah, another 1-2 for you two. That's becoming a bit of a habit. And yeah, Adam, you were closing in on Kobe quite a lot. It was like 6.3. I think by the end it was 4.9. So I know Kobe did do very, very well for this track in terms of practice, and the fact you went into this with none, that shows good promise. I guess I can ask you one final question, actually, Adam. How are you feeling for Kota next week?
Definitely gonna have to do practice. I feel probably one of my weaker tracks.
Right.
Definitely gonna have to put a lot of practice in. Taking it as it is, really.
Yeah. Just getting Finn back in. There we go. You there, Finn? Hello, Finn? No, it's not working, mate, unfortunately. I mean, if you switch back, I can just turn my volume on my headset just to the max. I can make out what you're saying, so we'll just go with that if you want. All I hear is like scramble, and yeah. All right, Finn will be rejoining in a sec. It's always Vegas that things just get a little messy, isn't it? I guess what happens in the saying and whatnot. But yeah, Kota, Mexico, Abu Dhabi, Brazil. Adam, you got your first win last season at Brazil. So wouldn't that be a bit of a... Actually, do you want to... The amount of times... Hello, there you are, Finn. I was just... Don't worry, just give me 10 seconds. I was going to say to Adam, the amount of times in Tier 2 history where one season a driver wins the final race of the season or just wins their first race by the end. One season later, they do usually win the championship. I just thought I'd mention that. It's happened quite a few times, more than you would think. So that'd be cool, but... sorry?
To be honest, some of them tracks that you just mentioned, like, Mexico and Brazil, probably two of my better races last season. I mean, like this it was
Yeah.
probably about this time this season, last season, where I started like to properly pick up a bit
Yeah.
better form. Like, I had a good race in Mexico
'cause-
last season.
Yeah, a lot of last season you were, because we obviously put you in Tier 1 and then started Tier 2, you were making your way up, still trying to get that podium that you had a few chances at, but unfortunate circumstances, and then finally you got the win, and then you got another win in Qatar, so you ended it off well for this season to be just how much you've achieved. Anyway, Finn, it's P3 today, mate. You got your second pole position by fine margins ahead of Kobe. Was the lap good, in your opinion? Yeah, Kobe, I think just unfortunately messed up his second and third runs. So it was pole. At the start, you got overtaken by him into turn one. Was the revs not high enough, or did you just bog down, or what happened? Yeah. Oh, you failed the grid slot. Oh no, you were. Oh, right. I see. Oh, I didn't catch that, to be fair. That's fair. So in the first few laps, you were fighting away with Kobe, and then the safety car came out, and then after that, you were once again fighting with him. But then, did it just seem like your tyres were just a bit worse than his, or management-wise, to just fall away a bit? Ah, right. Ah, I see. Yeah. I don't know if you three. Yeah, I don't know if you three noticed I left the session around lap 9 and then rejoined in lap. I was praying that like it was just me and like everyone hadn't been affected. The stream, there's two streams now, so I have to edit both of them, like stitch them together now, which is a job and a half. But yeah, I joined back, saw you were 1 point whatever behind, and then you just fell a bit further back. Adam was closing in on you, and was it just a bit of too much pressure seeing him behind, or was it just genuinely just a misjudgment over the curb that sent you into the wall before the strip began? Yeah. And then your teammate Birdie was closing in on you, and I believe if there was one more lap, there may have been a bit of a tussle, but you just hung on to P3. It was still a great drive nonetheless. Another podium to allow Alpine up the order as well as yourself. I still think you drove brilliantly, so well done to that. And yeah, you're making a bit of a habit now of getting these podiums. So yeah, great stuff. I believe you're going to be one of the main names to stick out when Adam and Kobe are fighting for this championship. So it should be very interesting to see. Obviously, we've seen you and Adam fight a lot in the time you've been here, so that was fun to see. I'm glad you obviously didn't get damaged when you went deep, and you just managed to hold on. So yeah, well done. And how are you feeling for Kota next week? Yeah, that's pretty much the same answer with these two. Yeah, come on. We'll see. I guess final question. I asked Kobe, I think, and he said 74. Adam and Finn, what were your tyres on at the end?
I mean, I didn't actually check right at the end. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't most of the time though. But I think I was on about 60%, like lap 23. So I'm gonna estimate probably somewhere about 70 because me and Kobe had pretty similar tyre wear. It was just a slight
Yeah,
bit
that's
more
fair.
than me.
Finn, what about you? Because it really did look like at the end you were struggling. 90? Oh my
Jesus.
god. That is crazy. Yeah, I literally predicted before the race. I was like, if there's a safety car lap 5, the hards at the end are going to be so cooked. And there was a safety car on lap 6. So I honestly didn't expect it to come in on lap 8 or 9. I was like, because I don't know if you three know about that glitch I was on about, but I was talking about it the entire safety car period, saying the safety car will not be coming in this lap, and then it came in that lap, and that's what led to the whole watching Kobe's restart and whatnot. I don't think it should be a problem, but again, I'll look into it. But anyway, that has been a very chaotic Las Vegas Grand Prix, the end to the street triple header around Baku, Singapore, and Vegas. I've had a lot of crashes, a lot of safety cars, a lot of great battles, a lot of interesting battles and overtakes. But yeah, at the end of it all, we now have our conclusion, hopefully, to this championship. 4 to go, 22 points, Adam versus Kobe. And we will see you in 1 week's time for the United States Grand Prix.